Bukido, Kobudo, back on again, so could you give them a nice little hand again, please?
Okay, thank you very much. Feet together. Right, to start off, we're going to be showing you a little bit of Kobudo today, which is basically Japanese and Okinawan weaponry. We're going to be showing you all different weapons, and most of them started off literally as farming tools. The two chaps in the middle here you can see are just running through a few basic drills with the short stick. Now that can be found literally anywhere in the world. It's just a piece of 2 to 3 foot wood just found on the floor. They're just basically going through the basic strikes and angles, with some basic blocks up there, and we use this to train what we call muscle memory, just to get the arms moving in the correct places. One of the best countries in the world for this is the Philippines, and these techniques are actually taken not from the Japanese arts, but from the Philippines, from the screamer. Okay, thanks, chaps. Next on we have the bow and the naginata. The bow on the my left side here is used by Jay, and this would be used by the Okinawan farmers just to carry the crops and things from back from the fields. The naginata on the opposite side there, on the right, would be used by the samurai, basically on the battlefields. One of the main uses would be to cut the feet off the horse riders, off the horses, to fell the riders, or to spear them off the horses, or just to clear gaps in a battlefield, just to let the soldiers through, the ashiguru. Thank you. Next on we have Reese and Paige, and they're going through the Jo. The Jo is just a slightly shorter stick, about 4 foot in length. Again, it might have started as a bow originally, it just broke. It's just a short piece of wood that would be found anywhere, in your own time. The moves that display here are what we call kata, and it's a way of fighting on your own. It's a way of practicing drills, getting the correct angles and strikes and blocks right. And it's just aimed at just building the knowledge up of how to use a weapon. Thank you. Now we're going to go through what we call bunkai. So an untrained eye just looks like we're throwing in a sick ground and we're not particularly doing anything. What we're now going to do is show you what you're actually doing in the kata. So you'll see the first few moves and then you'll see it demonstrated against a person as well. And you'll see this figure of 8 motion, which is actually a deflection and a strike. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on now to the double bow and double Jo routine. This is normally used, again, just to get a little bit of muscle memory going, get a little bit of coordination. We're going to run through the drill slow, so you can see where the different strikes are aiming. We're going to try and use all the different angles, and obviously the defences that go with them. The two chaps at the back will be using the bow, which is the 6 foot staff, and obviously the Jo at the front, which is the 4 foot staff. Again, they're just running through it at a slow pace, just to demonstrate the moves and the angles and where we're striking. Okay, now they're going to go for it. Well done. Okay, next on we have the nunchaku. Again, one of the most famous weapons. Bruce Lee, I think, one of the most famous practitioners of this weapon. It started off as a horse's muzzle, that's where it came from, so... and that's where it came from, the horse's muzzle. Again, you'll see all different variations of this on the TV with chains and fancy lights and things, but originally there were just two pieces of wood and a piece of cord in the middle. Thank you. Now the next nunchaku form you're going to see is what we normally teach to start off with. It has everything in it basically, all the different strikes, the different areas of the body, a lot of guard positions, and it just gets the user familiar with handling the weapon. Normally after about 2 or 3 weeks of training we'd expect people to be able to do something like this. Quite simple, just getting used to manipulating the weapon around the body. Thank you. Okay, the last nunchaku drill we're going to do now is a little more advanced. Again, you'll see the difference in the speed and the power with this one. Natsurashi, it means summer storm. It's basically the 4 seasons. We teach it in 4 different parts. But that's Natsurashi. And again, keep in mind, these would just be tools of the farmer. They're not designed to be weapons, it's just what they had to hand to help themselves defend against, again, any intruders, the samurai, that had often robbed them for the crops. Thank you. Okay, we're going to now move on to the sai. Quite a mixed history this. Came from China originally as a weapon, did come over to Japan and then over to Okinawa. It's mostly been used as a fishing tool. The fishermen would use this to drag on large fish and dolphin onto the boats, or it'd be mounted onto a pole, a little bit like a farmer's fork. Back in about the 1800s, you would see the Okinawan police with these. That was their badge. So where a police officer nowadays would show you the badge on the lapel or in the wallet, they would actually have one of those, and that would be the badge to show them that they work for the law enforcement. And they would be sent out with these to arrest. The samurai would be normally in with a katana. So. Thank you. Okay, another drill. This one now teaches people to be able to use both hands. You'll see the weapon being switched from hand to hand. Sometimes it's open, sometimes it's closed, and it's just all about teaching coordination. The next move you'll see now strikes round to the ribs and it would pierce the tines underneath the rib cage of the opponent, throw them to the floor and strike the eyes. So again, each one of these moves has a particular meaning or a particular part of the body that they'd be striking to. Again, finishing what we call zanshin or focus. Just looking around, being aware of everybody that we've just been fighting with imaginary. Thank you. Okay, the last kata you're going to see now with the side, performed by Jay. Again, you'll see the difference in the speed and the difference in the handling. This kata is called Senki, which basically means war spirit. Again, you'll hear sometimes loud shouts or grunts or face pulls or anything like that. And the idea is to build up the adrenaline in the body, get the aggression going, and also to put fear into the opponent that we'll be fighting. And again, just remember what they were. It's just literally a fishing gaff. That's all it came from. Thank you. Okay, Ben and Aaron. Right, we're going to go through the tanto. And as we said before, these two lads are on the best behaviour, as the sharp knives these. The knife, or the tanto, again, will be used on the battlefields. It's a concealed weapon. It'll be hidden inside the clothes of the samurai, so for close quarter fighting. Or it'll be given as a wedding gift to the wife to defend herself while the husband's away in battle. And also used to perform what we call seppuku, which is to kill oneself rather than be captured in battle. Well done. Okay, we're going to move on to the kama now. The kama was just a farmer's sickle. Nothing more, it's nothing fancy. You'll see sometimes variations with the chain on, which the ninja would use, but this is just literally a farmer's sickle. Again, we're going to show you the kata first. You'll see the meaning of these moves in a moment. And again, and now for the bunkai, so the meaning of what's just happened there. You'll see the first few moves demonstrated by Rick here, and then the bunkai just on the opposite side of the mat. And that's the kama, the sickle. Okay, just to finish with, again we explained this before, it's not something we normally do in front of people, but we're going to go through what we call a small sparring drill, free sparring. Normally everything you've seen is pre-rehearsed, learning the different blocks and strikes and moves. But we're now going to just put two different weapons together. We do this quite a lot in the class. We'll just pick two weapons, see which is weak, which is strong, and we'll just go nice and light. We haven't got any protection on, no gear. We're training with metal and wood, so it does break bones. And it's just literally to see if we can find an opening, see if we can get a strike. And we pitch this against all different weapons, one against another. Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you very much for your time.